second, and we'll call the meeting to order and stand for a prayer. Our Father, thank you for a beautiful day, and thank you for the upcoming change of seasons and how that represents your perfect creation. And we thank you for our town and the beauty of this town, and may we understand the gravity of our custody of this town. And we pray for our nation, and that we will become more unified and go in the right direction, and that being a direction that is pleasing to you. And we just pray that you keep our men and women, our employees, all of them, keep them safe as they do their jobs. Thank you for their sacrifice for us and for our citizens. In Christ's name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Are there any public comments tonight? If so, we ask you to fill out a form from the back, give it to our clerk, and you have 3 minutes to express yourselves as you see fit. State your name and address. Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So,
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Whoops, we got to vote first. All in favor?
aye.
Opposed? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. We'll now come to Brandon.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, Mayor and Council. On your agenda tonight is consideration to adopt a town charter amendment of Article 2, Chapter 2 regarding quorum and voting. Your current charter, Section 2.204, establishes that the mayor and 3 council members shall constitute a quorum and shall be authorized to transact business of the council. Voting on the adoption of ordinances shall be taken by voice vote, and ayes and nays shall be recorded in the journal, but any member of the council shall have the right to request a roll call vote. A minimum of 3 votes shall be required for the adoption of any ordinance, resolution, or motion. The mayor shall vote only in the event of a tie. These provisions have prevented us from holding council meetings and or moving items forward in the past when members of council have been unable to attend meetings. Other problems arise under the current provisions when council members feel the need to recuse themselves from a vote, as the 3-vote requirement may not be met, especially if more than one member of council felt the need to recuse themselves. While rare, this scenario is not out of the question given the size of the town. Conversely, if one council member is absent and a single contrary vote carries the item, as the mayor may only vote to break ties. All of this could result in a multitude of legal issues and is detrimental to the town's operation. Given these noted issues, Mayor Dial asked Mr. Davenport to review the charter and provide us with a proposed solution. His recommendation was that, and I quote, the mayor and council reduce its quorum requirement to the presence of 3 elected officials, with a majority vote of those present being sufficient to pass a motion.
Okay.
Provided the updated proposed language in your packet.
Counselor, do you have any input or comments you want to make?
Mr. Mayor, I made quite a few comments at the last meeting. I'm happy to reiterate if there are any questions about those issues. One area I did not cover that might be useful for consideration is when you look at local governments and you look at what their quorum requirements are, typically quorums are generated by looking at your total pool of elected officials and determining what number exceeds 50%. So that would be your quorum. So with a 5-member board, 3 would be a quorum, 6, it would be 4, 7, it would be 4. That's a general standard that's used. Whether that's used intentionally or not, that's how it shapes up as you look across the spectrum of the various bodies across the state of Georgia. I've represented a municipality in the recent past that had 7 elected officials. Their quorum was 4, and it works out because is one more than 50%. That's typically the formula that's used. So, any questions about the revisions? Happy to answer them to the best of my ability.
I want to make one clarification on what you said. Dennis brought it to me. I did not ask him to go to the charter, and look at what we need to do. He brought it to me. I didn't bring it to him. Just clarifying that point. Is there any discussion prior to a motion? Any questions for anybody? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to consider to adopt Town Charter Amendment of Chapter 2, Article 2 regarding quorum and voting as suggested by Town Attorney.
A second.
Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
I vote in favor. All right. Is there any public comment now? Okay. Hearing none, is there any staff comment?
I have something that might take a couple of minutes. Is anybody else there?
I just have some performance metrics to go over with you.
Sounds quick.
Very good.
Too soon.
A small CSX update.
Okay.
So CSX is approximately 2 miles. Sorry. CSX is approximately 2 miles from us. We won't know until tomorrow what their schedule is, because the schedule comes out tomorrow. They do it like every week. They send a new schedule out. And hopefully the individual I talked to today will help me update me when exactly they plan on being in town. So we can put that out. But as soon as I know, I'll let you know in council.
Thank you. Go ahead.
The chief could not make it tonight, but he wanted to make sure you understood that when you voted for the truck, the extra police truck, that you understand that this was for the truck only. Usually he brings the equipment and the truck together, but he was unable to get the equipment in time. So that because the truck's getting ready to hit the car lot, I think possibly even next week. So it's almost here. So he's going to later on bring in the equipment that will go onto the truck, just that you're aware. Thank you.
So basically all you voted for tonight was to buy the trucks. He wasn't able to get everything compiled for all the equipment.
Okay.
Typically, when he comes and has y'all vote, it's for the truck and the upfitting.
Correct.
This time it's just the truck. They will bring the
Of course.
item for the upfitting at a future council meeting for that truck.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay, what I had, so when we built the pickleball courts, we were kind of inundated with people wanting to have events there, be it charities, be it the local pickleball group just wanting to have, tournaments for fun and kind of take over almost kind of like take over the pickleball court. So the position from the beginning has kind of been, the pickleball courts are there for the public. They are open to the public, first come, first serve, that kind of thing, with the exception being, we have an instructor who we've been working with that here and there will do free lessons on, I think, Sundays.
Yes, sir.
For a couple of hours, and they have a couple of courts reserved for them. But we have had groups, one of the most prominent being the Fed Chamber has wanted to do a fundraiser. We've had a group of citizens recently that wanted to do a fundraiser, and we've not sought official direction from council, and we haven't received official direction from council. So like I said, our position has just been, we kind of treat it like the basketball courts and the tennis courts and kind of every other park in town other than Shamrock Park where, they're first come, first served. The baseball fields are a little different because we have a field use agreement there. And TYBA can have tournaments and they have sort of exclusive use under certain parameters. We don't have anything like that for the pickleball courts, but, we recently turned down a group for a charity event that would have benefited local first responders because that's just the official position. And so what I'm coming tonight with is just a suggestion that we look at how to handle this going forward. What does council want that position to be? A suggestion would be, to allow some events, because if you open this up, you're gonna have, you potentially will have, every weekend, you're gonna have people want to use those courts. I would say allow some events, they should be open to the public, they should be beneficial, to local charities. And I would say no matter what, whichever direction we go, there's 8 courts out there. I would say if we're gonna allow a group to come in and do an event, that we keep at least a handful of courts, if not half the courts open 100% to the public. They don't have to participate in the event, but the other half of the courts could be designated for the events. So we just like a little bit of discussion on that and some direction from you guys.
I'm sorry.
No, please go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Billy and I, we play golf, you know, every once in a while. He plays better than me more often. But when tournaments are held at golf course, it's usually on a Monday, because that's the day that the course is usually closed. I would recommend perhaps choosing a day that is less operated by the majority of people, and that would be your community day, so to say, for an event. Just a suggestion.
I understand your point. Are we on? There we go. I think you make a good point, but in this particular case, when you're looking for this type of a response from the public, you know, a Saturday normally would be the best, only because most people would be available to do that. And I think Brandon's suggestion of, you know, designating certain amount of courts for an event such as that is a good one. But I would also say that we can't exclude the public. You know, the public should be allowed to participate in whatever that fundraiser is. You know, and not isolated to a certain amount of people. And I'm sure most fundraisers are open to everybody being a part of it. The more the merrier, and the better it resolves. To Dee's point, I think that's a good point, but I think when we're looking to get the most amount of people come, golf is a little different. You know, because people are gonna skip work for golf and, you know, things of that nature. But in this particular case, to have some sort of a fundraiser utilizing the pickleball courts, I think we have to go with a day that would best fit the most people that would be able to come. So that being said, I like your suggestions, and I would be all for that. I think certain fundraisers, and this one in particular, is near and dear to all of us, and I think it would be worth, you know, approving to have that done.
Would this responsibility fall on Linda and Christie?
No, I mean, communication, like when they first reach out, and they say, hey, we want to do an event, the initial communication, I think. And then it would be up to y'all whether or not, you know, so like, for instance, events at Shamrock Park, if they're open to the public, they meet certain parameters, we come to you guys and we get y'all's permission to waive fees and allow them to use the park. If you want it to happen that way, it'll be a little bit more bulky for us to handle. Or you could say, these are the parameters, and if they meet those parameters, then staff can approve this, and that's the way we would go. But I think it would be minimal involvement with Linda and Christie. But probably not anymore. They're already getting, the contact. People are already reaching out. So instead of saying, you know, this is kind of our position now, we don't do that, it would be, yeah, you can do that, here's the parameters. So I don't think it would be too big of a lift. Am I speaking out of turn there?
No, you're absolutely right.
Okay.
Very little extra work.
Okay.
And what about the Public Works Department?
Just, hopefully people would clean up mostly after themselves, but.
I think that should be part of the
Yeah,
parameters. There would have to be some sort of.
Right, I think I think we could come up with an agreement. Part of that agreement, when they're done, they clean up after themselves. Try to make it as little impact as possible on the staff.
Will we require them to have police assistance for traffic or anything
Well,
like that?
I guess if it's a huge deal, that might be something that we have to look at, but You know, if it gets out of, if traffic and parking gets out of hand, people start parking along, the road there and all.
We don't have enough courts for the truck, for truck.
Linda's backyard.
Yeah,
So it's not like the hop.
right. All things to consider, and yeah, it may be something that we come up with some parameters tonight, we allow these things to happen, and then we kind of adjust as we go.
Can we just direct staff to bring us a proposal of what those parameters will be?
That would be fine, and I could probably do that by next meeting.
Okay, well, I make a motion that staff does that, please.
And I second what he said.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yes, sir.
Philip, you raised your hand.
I did have one legitimate staff comment. I did.
You stay
This is not in jest. I did want to give you a heads up, your next meeting, we'd mentioned, House Bill 461, which changed how permit fees can be evaluated and our need to adjust our permit fee schedule. We will be bringing before you a revised permit fee schedule, at an upcoming meeting, hopefully your next meeting, along with a contract amendment with Safe Built, regarding that new fee structure, because we do have a contract with them on their percentage of fees, percentage of the permits that they collect. So I just wanted to give you a heads up that we will be bringing that before you. It's a big item, so I just wanted to let.
Is that a workshop, Phil?
It can be. You want it to be a workshop, Mike?
I don't know.
We can't have a workshop.
After.
It will be a pretty comprehensive item, so if you'd like it to be a workshop meeting, that we workshop it beforehand, and maybe we even still have it at the meeting afterwards.
Yeah, make a motion.
I make a motion that we make it a workshop then.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Get a second, or not?
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that was 4-0, I believe. You got any other legitimate ones?
None of any kind.
Brandon,
I do not, sir. Thank
anybody else, staff? Council?
Spring forward Sunday.
I actually have 3 of them. Does anybody else have anything that's coming?
On Sunday, I'd like to invite everyone to a prayer walk at 3 p.m. We're going to meet outside of the town hall. At 3 p.m., we're going to do a 1-mile walk. We'll have prayer, praise, and hope you all can come.
Okay. The first thing I want to say is last night, Sandy Creek boys basketball team won their 3rd state championship in a row. The second thing is, that I was contacted by someone at Piedmont Fayette Hospital, and they're doing a Parkinson's, what they call a Parkinson's Moving Day Community Walk. It is March 29th, Saturday, March 29th. And activities begin at 8:30. And it is behind Fayetteville City Hall at 300 City Center. And if you want more information, it's on my computer. Like contact person, phone number, that kind of thing. And the third one was, I noticed today is National Women in Construction Week. And we have 2 ladies up here who have been involved in construction in some way. So I wish you both a National Women in Construction Week. All right, any other council comments? Okay, is there any need for executive session?
No, sir.
All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All,
I don't think we could set a public time.
yeah,
We did.
I'm sorry, I was briefly interrupted.
Legitimately,
And I
yeah.
lost track of where we were. I asked for a motion to adjourn, I think it said all in favor.
That's right. All in favor? Aye.
I'm sorry.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Legitimately.
Thanks.